Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. In this video, I'll tell you about almost 1,700 foreigners being kicked out of the Philippines. Guo Huaping and Alice Guo's fingerprints are a match. What is a Canadian warship doing in the Philippines? 2 towns declared completely drug-free, and a correction for yesterday's video, plus much more. In his third State of the Union address, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. mandated the Philippines Amusement and Gaming Corporation to cease operations of the Philippines offshore gaming operators, also known as Pogos, by the end of the year. The government will strive to ensure the immediate deportation of all Pogo workers, though achieving this entirely may be challenging. The Bureau of Immigration stated that the Pogo workers have 59 days to leave the country once their companies dissolve and their visas are downgraded. 6 Chinese nationals are currently in the BI custody awaiting clearance for deportation, as they need to resolve pending cases in the Philippines first. Nothing new here, of course, after what the president said regarding Pogos being shut down by the end of the year, and now they're saying they have 60 days to go ahead and leave, and then those that don't go will be deported, obviously. Staying on the topic of people going back, 30 Chinese citizens were arrested by members of the Presidential Anti-Organization Crime Commission for working without permits and visas during a raid on illegal Philippines offshore gaming operators in Bamban Tarlac and Pasay City. Are seen inside a passenger bus lining up to the main entrance of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport to undergo deportation procedures. I think these are not actually recent ones. This happened to the raid that happened maybe weeks or months ago. I don't know the exact date, but this is not a new raid. This is basically the final step of their deportation. And then the Canadian warship HMSCS Montreal, equipped with anti-submarine system, arrived in Manila on August 2nd after passing through the Taiwan Strait, which drew criticism from China. The ship is on a port visit to enhance Canada's presence in the Indo-Pacific amid global tensions. The Chinese PLA accused the warship of disrupting peace, but the ship's commander asserted that their passage was lawful and conducted professionally. HMCS Montreal, along with 2 other Canadian warships, represent Canada's largest naval presence in the region since the launch of the Indo-Pacific strategy, which focuses on the stability of area like Taiwan Strait and South China Sea. The deployment is part of Operation Horizon, aimed at supporting a rules-based international order. Canadian officials emphasized the importance of maintaining free and open sea lanes and indicated a commitment to increase military engagement in the region, potentially including joint exercises with the Philippines and US, Japan, and Australia. Cool. So now Canada's involved in all this. I mean, I guess there's so many different treaties and agreements between different countries. Hopefully, it's funny because China had something to say about this, saying, oh, this was like disrupting peace and all that, when China's the one doing all this unnecessary drills and all that. Speaking of drills, more ships, Vietnam's got something to say about this too. A Vietnamese Coast Guard vessel is en route to the Philippines for joint training exercises, Hanoi said, in the first such exchange between the countries' dispute with Beijing over the South China Sea. Alright, so it looks like things are escalating all over the world when it comes to disputes regarding land. We got everywhere. I never knew there was so much, I guess there's always been stuff like this. Now that I'm covering the news, I see it more often. Or is it more than usual? I don't know. But let's go on to something positive maybe. Property giants Mega World announced on Thursday that it's gifting Philippines Olympic champions at the Paris 2024 Games with a new place to live. So that's pretty awesome. If you win gold medal in the Olympics, and if you're Filipino, you'll be given a 2-bedroom condominium by this property group. I don't watch the Olympics this year because of what happened with the opening ceremony. I don't support any of that nonsense. Plus, what happened with that guy punching a woman in the mouth. You know, the whole kickboxing lady that's supposed to be a man and all that stuff. I don't want to get into all that. But yeah, are you guys watching the Olympics? When I was younger, I was really into this stuff, man. I couldn't wait to watch the Olympics. I was supportive of it because it wasn't very political and it was about the athletes. And now you got these athletes living in a compound where they're not even happy because they're sleeping on like box mattresses and they're not getting enough food and all this green nonsense that Paris and France are trying to push. Anyways, I said I won't talk about it. Let's go on to our next story. The fingerprints of suspended Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo and Chinese national Guo Huaping match, according to the Commission on Elections panel investigating the embattled mayor. Okay, so this was a rumor or like a theory before. Now it's confirmed. Let's see if the PMP can find her. And then canyoneering activities in Cebu have been suspended due to murky waters and rising levels of water as well. So canyoneering is really fun and a very big attraction in Cebu, with a lot of foreigners and tourists and even locals participating. It's a lot of fun, so it's been canceled until further notice. In some transportation news, Secretary Jamie Batista on Thursday told Senate President that suspending the public transport modernization program would hurt the commuters who already benefit from it and damage to the government's relationship with drivers and operators who have already agreed to modernize. So a big dispute and debate since all this began. Just a quick update. Jeepneys are like those classic buses, almost like big trucks, the military style looking things in the Philippines. If you've ever been there, I don't really know how to describe them, but they've been like a iconic image of the Philippines, and also people use them for a very affordable price to get around. The Philippines wants to modernize that. They want to move forward and pass this law months ago for everybody to go ahead and, you know, get new buses essentially. And now there's still a debate whether they can maintain this, because a lot of people don't want to. They don't have the money for it. They're going to say it's going to raise the prices naturally. So yeah, I guess they want to put a halt on this again, but it's not fair for those of them that have already modernized their vehicles. So yeah, let me know your comments about this. Do you think the Philippines should modernize its jeepneys, or do you think it's just too historical, symbolic, and iconic to the country to go ahead and do that? Plus, it's probably going to bring like a raise the fare to the commuters as well. Let me know what you think. Speaking of commuting, let's talk about Korean Air, which will stop serving instant cup noodles, a popular snack in Korea known as ramen, that requires boiling water on its long-haul flights. I don't think we needed an explanation of what noodles in a cup is, but okay. I'm not gonna read that. Basically, Korean Air is gonna stop serving hot noodles in a cup in the sky because of the turbulence, right? So lately there's been a lot of like extreme turbulence in the air, and of course you can imagine that thing shaking up and down, damaging your skin, your body, and the person next to you. Boiling water on your face is not a good idea, is what I'm trying to say. They've canceled it. Korean Air canceled noodles in a cup. And some more positive news, in Dhaka, Bangladesh police on Thursday freed 6 student leaders whose campaign against civil service jobs quotas sparked deadly nationwide unrest as the government looked to calm tensions and stall fresh demonstrations. Yeah, so in Bangladesh there was huge riots and a lot of people lost their lives because the government wants to dedicate 30% of the government jobs to their family members. People went crazy, of course. People got arrested, and now they released those 6 leaders. And then 3 committees at the House of Representatives have pieced together a matrix linking Philippines offshore gaming operators to the illegal drug trade based on business ties among Filipino and Chinese nationals, including former President Rodrigo Duterte's presidential advisor, Michael Yang. So I guess no surprise there, Pogo is connected to the drug trade now. Speaking of drugs, PDEA has declared 2 towns in Maguindanao del Norte and North Cotabato as drug-free municipalities in Muslim regions of Mindanao. Let's go ahead and see what they mean, or what is the definition of drug-free. The declaration, according to the PDEA, is proof that no one uses illegal drugs in town, no drug den, no drug syndicates, no protectors, no financiers, no marijuana cultivators, sellers, users, and no manufacturers of illegal drugs. Let me know, what do you think? Do you think that's accurate, or do you have your suspicions? Quick headlines from Thailand. Chiang Mai, a fallen tree takes the life of a Chinese tourist and injures others. In Phuket, a peeping Tom escapes lynching, abandons panties. Chinese-owned factory fined 1.8 billion baht for water contamination. Thai thief arrested for stealing marijuana plant. Trans woman busted in Bangkok hotel for pimp teenage girls. A suspect stabs Thai police officer during an arrest. And a Japanese man tries to rape a Thai girl. Anyways, so yeah, you know, crazy stuff on a daily basis in Thailand. Let's go into our segment called Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments of the previous video. But first, a correction to the story I said yesterday that Cebu Pacific will be flying direct from Cebu to Chiang Mai, Thailand. However, it's actually from Manila. Unfortunately, you still have to go through Nai Airport if you want to go ahead and check out Chiang Mai. So correction there. Thank you for those pointing that out. And because the way I read it, I just assumed Cebu Pacific. For some reason, I just connected it with Cebu. I know Cebu, but of course they fly out of Manila as well. Anyhow, so my bad. There's a correction. Let's go on to our comments. The most popular comment comes from Luna Flytrap, who says criminals just need that entry visa, then conveniently forget to renew while trying to disappear in the Philippines. Good to see that the Philippines is cracking down on this stuff. It's excellent to see, of course, any kind of criminal in any kind of society or neighborhood would probably not be beneficial to the local people that follow the rules. Then McCormick says, as a US citizen, I wish our government would stop handling out my tax dollars as freely as it does. But since I can't stop them, I wish they would have given the Philippines more. I removed a sentence because rereading it a few times, I found that it could be offensive and I don't want to be offending anyone. I think this goes back to the $500 million that the Philippines is going to receive from the US for military support against China, but there's actually a correction to that. Somebody from the Philippines authority came out and said it's actually not 500 million, it's only 100 million. It's not just Canada, I mean, the US, Canada, any country, you don't want your tax dollars going somewhere else, but I think you have to think bigger picture. I don't know, it's too political for me to discuss, but personally, I wouldn't want my tax dollars supporting any other country's war either. But then again, yeah, it's too complicated to try to like break down to one kind of sentence or thought. Let's go on and read one more comment and we'll finish off. JR Kodo says, I think it's too risky to use fraudulent documents, and also as an animal lover, those peoples who abuse voiceless animals should be in jail for so many years rather than just fined for small amounts. They're sickos. I agree, animals are innocent. People should not abuse animals under any situation or condition. And that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this, take a second out of your day. It's completely free. Hit that subscribe button. We're making our way to 5,000 subscribers. Hit that like button. Share this video with somebody else that might also enjoy it. And I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. But it is Friday for me. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Bye.